Here's another problem that talks about end behavior and behavior at the asymptotes. So we have f of x equals 4x squared minus 11x minus 3, and 4x squared over 4x squared minus 21x plus 5. So we could factor this to be, let me see if I can get this to right. I think I have to go down here to right. Let me rewrite the problem. F of x equals 4x squared minus 11x minus 3 over 4x squared minus 21x plus 5. Looks like the numerator factors to be 4x times x. Looks like a minus 3 and a plus 1. The denominator factors to be 4x and then an x minus 5 and then a minus 1. Looks like that goes to minus 21 there. And nothing's going to factor out. So if you look at what it's talking about too, we have 6 things we want to know. As x approaches infinity, y does what? As x approaches negative infinity, y does what? And they kind of gave us some answers here. As x approaches 1/4 from the left side, what's y going to do? As x approaches 1/4 from the right side, what's y going to do? So it kind of tells us that's one of our asymptotes. As x approaches 5 from the left side, what's y going to do? And as x approaches 5 from the right side, what's y going to do? So we have to look at all these situations. So again, nothing's going to factor. The first thing to consider as x approaches infinity or negative infinity, that's the end behavior, long-term behavior. Now this original function has 4x squared to begin on the top, 4x squared on bottom. They're both squared, they're both the same power. Therefore, because they're squared, and they're both squared, and they have the same leading coefficient, so our long-term behavior, y, is going to be approaching that 4 over the 4. And I'm talking about this 4 over that 4 because they are the same degree. So that's equal to 1. So our long-term behavior of both directions is going to be 1. Now we want to look at our asymptotes. They kind of gave them to us. Not even kind of, they totally gave them to us. 4x minus 1 equals 0 means 4x equals 1, or x equals 1/4. And x minus 5 equals 0 means x equals 5. That's great. We also want to look at our x-intercepts. So we're going to graph this and take a look at behavior. 4x plus 1 equals 0. That's the numerator factor. 4x equals negative 1. X equals negative 1/4. And x minus 3 equals 0 means x equals 3. So we have those intercepts. And our y-intercept, singular, only one because it's a function, is going to be, if you put 0 in there for x and 0 in there for y, so all we have left is negative 3 over 5. And so let me be clear on this in case someone's going to be nitpicky. The x-intercept is actually at negative 1/4, comma 0, and 3, comma 0. The y-intercept is going to be at 0, comma negative 3/5. I was getting the relative values for those axes. So if we were to graph this, we know we have, let me just give some numbers here. Some tick marks at least. So we have a horizontal asymptote at y equals 1. We have a vertical asymptote at negative 1, oh, it's positive 1/4, okay, so right along here. We have another asymptote at 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And let's look at these intercepts. So I'm going to change colors for that, go back to red. And we have an intercept at negative 1/4, 0. We have an intercept at 3, 0. And we have an intercept at 0, negative 3/5. So right about there. This indicates then that we're going to probably be going along here, going to cross over and go down. Remember, you can cross a horizontal asymptote. Doesn't always, but you can cross it. But you can't cross a vertical asymptote. And then, because this factor, this 4x minus 1, it was not squared or the fourth power, it's not even index, an even power. Because it goes down on one side, it must be coming from above on the other. And it's going to come down, cross at the x-intercept and go down again. And then this other one, this x minus 5, was not squared or fourth power or anything, so it must have come from above. And it's going to be approaching the axis, the asymptote. So what we're asking is a couple different things. As we approach 5 from the right side, that's that plus, means from the right side, this is going up towards infinity. As we approach 5 from the left side, it's going to negative infinity. Likewise, as we approach 1/4 from the right side with the little plus, it's going to positive infinity. As we approach 1/4 from the left side, it's going to negative infinity. And that's about it. So those are your answers. And that's the graph. Now you can always use decimals to see a good visualization of the graph. I'm not sure that it shows asymptotes though, so it could be good to understand why they're asymptotes and where they're asymptotes. Okay, good luck.